Hello, YouTube. How you guys doing? Jared Fuller here. Today is Sunday, November 10th, 2019. It is another week that I'm flying solo in the Sunday video update. Dad and Amy just left a little while ago. They had to go to my grandpa's, and then they had to go to a little corner town east of Chesaning called Layton Corners. They had to go get a car battery for my dad's car. So now he's having battery issues with his car. And I guess it's a good thing that we replaced our car batteries now because, you know, we've been getting our first snowfalls of the season and it's starting to get cold. So it's always a good thing that we take care of this now before it gets so bad to the point where we can't get out to take care of it. So anyway, I hope you had a wonderful week. My week, again, was kind of a stressful week. I'll get to that in a moment. But there are a couple other things I need to get to before I talk about all that other stuff. So at this moment, I'm going to remind all of you to visit GuideStar.org. GuideStar.org has a complete and comprehensive listing of all the 501c3 nonprofit organizations and LLCs approved by the federal government of the United States of us. Don't be fooled, don't be duped. Visit GuideStar.org today. This Saturday, for those of you who may or may not be familiar, is November 16th, which will commemorate the 20th anniversary of my journal writing. I have been a journal writer since I was 13 years old. If you do the math, I guess you could have figured that out on your own. But it has been 20 years since I started writing journals. I'm still writing journals. Of course, I'm still writing poetry, or at least coming up with some ideas for new poetry. So this Saturday, I'll probably do something special. I'll put together a little video commemorating the 20th anniversary of my journal writing, and I'll post it here to YouTube just like I did last year. I think it was last year. But yeah, 20 years this Saturday, I will have been writing journals. So it's been a long ride. It's been a long road. There's been a lot of bumps in the road. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I've grown. And, you know, any casual observer, if they start from the very first journal entry, I started on November 16th, 1999, and just read through 20 years of writing. I mean, you can see how I evolved over the years, how I progressed and matured over the years, and my ways of thinking have changed. I mean, it really shows in my writing, so I'm proud of it. I mean, it's one thing that I didn't think I was going to stick to for all this time. I thought I would just write a few lines and be done with it. But I actually enjoy writing journals. It's been, you know, a part of my life, you know, again, for the past 20 years. And I enjoy it immensely. And, you know, I'll probably write journals until I die or until I get arthritis in the hands, or both, depending on whatever comes first. But this Saturday, 20 years writing journals, and I'll probably piece together a little video montage and talk about that just to commemorate the special day. So, moving on to other things, it's kind of been a stressful week. Not every week is going to be the best week or the you know, it's not going to be good all the time. Okay, so the past couple weeks have been stressful. It's just there's been some things going on. I'm not going to put names out there. I'm not going to get into specifics. But a friend of mine, whom of which, by the way, we still keep in contact via email, we had to cut connections elsewhere because there's some other things going on. But we still keep in contact via email, and she's going through some shit right now, and I'm not going to get into specifics. And I don't even know if she watches these videos, but she knows who she is, and I just wanted to say that my heart goes out to you, and I hope things work out for the best. And I had a friend from Canada, I guess. I don't know what's going on with that. She doesn't talk to me anymore, email or whatever. Well, I mean, I'm not mad, but, you know, it's like, you have to get over it. If you're mad at me, you'll get over it or stay mad. You know, I was really tired, and I didn't sleep well. And I was just getting to bed at 6 o'clock one morning, and then she calls me and wants to have casual talk. And so, what are you doing? What you up to? I'm just getting ready for bed, And then she's, well, if I come to Michigan, you're going to have to come and get me. And it's like, who says? I mean, you could ask me, if I come to Michigan, could you come and get me? You just don't demand that I'm going to do something, because that's going to piss me off. And it pissed me off. It's like, well, I don't know. I'm not going to just say I'm going to do something and not be able to do it. And so just respond to my emails, be an adult. Let's talk. Whatever. But that's how it was kind of stressful, because, it sucks when you have a kind, caring heart and you love people, you grow attached to people, you reach out to people, you want to, have that friendship and that communication. And then they just one day walk out of your life. They don't want anything to do with you anymore. That kind of hurts, And I dealt with that quite a bit last week and the week before that. And it sucks. And I don't want to say, well, that's a part of life, because although actually it is a part of, it is a part of life, but I don't want to just write it off as a simple, quick fix. Well, that's life, write it off, move on. Well, no, I need to process my feelings when something like this happens. And it sucks. Sucks a lot. But, I'm doing okay, hanging in there for the most part. I'm still here, so obviously I'm doing something right. But I don't know. It just kind of sucks when you lose people that you love and care about a lot. And it's a decision they made. It's not a decision I made. I've always been the same person I've always been. But, things come up, things happen, and what can I do? But I'm here for another week, and I'm just sitting here drinking my coffee and just running out of things to say very, very quickly. But it was an okay week. I mean, other than being stressed out by some other personal shit going on, it was a good week. Yesterday, actually last evening, we went to the local church in Chesaning here, and they had like a mini Thanksgiving feast, and we were going to cook supper last night, and then I found out about the dinner up in, at the church, and it's like, well, why cook? Let's just go out, let's put that on somebody else to cook a meal. So we went up to the church, and we had a nice meal. We had turkey slice and stuffing and squash, mashed potatoes. They were serving rolls. They had refreshments, of course, cold drinks. It was nice. It was okay. I don't go to church, but, there was a lot of people that I knew, so it made it less awkward for me to be there, because I'm not a church-going person. But there were a lot of people I knew. I mean, Chesaning's not a sprawling metropolis. Everybody kind of knows everybody. So it was nice to actually sit down and eat a plate of food and have other familiar faces. Like my stepdad, Jimmy, was there. My dad was there. Amy was there. Some cousins that I recognized. Just everybody was there. Well, I'm kind of exaggerating. I'm speaking in hyperbole there. Not everybody was there, but people that I knew right away, they were there. And it was okay. It was all right. And it took my mind off of a lot of different things, too. I walked into their... they got a pole barn out in back where they give away boxes of food. And we were low on food, and we needed some extra help. And... like I said, even the pole barn was packed, full of people. It's like most everybody in there knew me, and I knew them. And I came walking in, and everybody is like, "Oh, it's Jared," And a dear, sweet friend of mine, I love her to death. Her name is Fauna. she says, "You're not getting out of here without giving me a hug." So, and Dad's like, "Jared, you have a request over here for a hug." And I said, "Who?" And I'm looking around, and Fauna's sitting in a chair. "Oh, Fauna, of course. You know, I give her a hug every time." And everybody was looking around. You know, they were looking at me like, "Oh, Jared's hugging Fauna. Who fucking cares?" You know. Every time I see her, I give her a hug, and people are just kind of gawking and looking like, "Jared over there, he's giving her a hug. Who fucking cares?" You know. I give Fauna a hug every single time I see her, so she's a very sweet lady. And it only goes to show, I don't care what anybody thinks or what anybody says. I'm just going to do what I want to do. But it was okay yesterday. We enjoyed a nice meal, and like I said, there were a lot of people that I knew. And as of today, I don't know what's happening today because I never plan anything. I'm not a person who likes to make plans because every time I do make plans, they fall short. Very soon, hopefully very soon, before we start to get our real significant snow, because not too far away from here, they've been getting like 6 and 7 inches of snow. But hopefully soon, I'm going to be having dinner with a warrior and some mutual friends of ours. We've been talking about this in Messenger. We're all going to get together, plan a meal, and spend time together, hang out, and try to get this all out of the way, and just to be with one another before we start getting our real significant snowstorms. Because according to the Farmer's Almanac, we're going to have a very, very severe winter in terms of brutal cold again and extensive snowfall amounts. I'm not looking forward to that at all. But the Farmer's Almanac are usually pretty accurate, and although accuracy is the one thing that we need, or at least close to being as true as possible, it's the one thing that I wish wasn't true, because I don't like driving in snow. But, I've lived here all my life. Michigan is prone for cold and snow and ice, so I should be used to it by now, but I don't know. I don't like to drive in the winter. And there's people who've lived here. They're older than I am, and they've lived here all their lives, and they still don't like driving in the snow. They don't like to drive in the wintertime. So I don't feel so left out there. Although we are in, I think, late fall already. Winter is just right around the corner. And I am not looking forward to all the snow that they're saying we're supposed to get. They're predicting it. I'm not impressed because I ex-nay on winter driving, but if I have to, I have to. That's the way it is. My brother Jay was here last night with his new girlfriend. They brought some laundry over, and I wasn't aware of this because I fell asleep. And then when I came out, lo and behold, they were sitting out here, and the washer and dryer was going, and it's like, oh, okay. I came out, got something to eat, and I think I went back into my bedroom. I'm guessing it's because of the changing weather, why I've been so tired lately. My sleeping patterns are totally and completely out of whack. I mean, I can't get a good night's rest. And a lot of it has to do with stress and anxiety and depression and all that other good stuff. But it's really, it has an effect on my sleeping patterns. And I try to sleep through the night. I lie down, I get nice and warm and bundled up under blankets, and sometimes I can fall asleep. But then I get too overheated, then I have to kick blankets off, and then I start to sweat, and it's like, ugh. And sometimes I sleep shirtless, because it just gets too hot or too warm, and then I start to sweat. I start to perspirate. But it really sucks when you can't sleep through the night. I know lots of people, my friends, who have the same issues. They cannot sleep through the night because of stress and anxiety. And I think a lot of it because everything's changing so much in terms of, like we're all striving to keep up with one another. We're all doing our best to stay up to date with what's going on in the world, and we're trying to keep in contact with people and balance our own lives. And a lot of my friends have kids and jobs, and they have to balance all of that, and it's hard to keep in touch. It's hard to keep in contact, and it's hard to stay up to date with what's going on in everybody else's lives. So being a grown-up is definitely, it's hard work to be a grown-up, because you don't get that all the time. There's people that I haven't heard from in months. They just get so busy, and sometimes I'll contact them in Messenger. Even I get busy, like I'll take a few minutes and reach out to them in Messenger, and then there'd be times when I don't hear from them for weeks, months at a time, because they just get so overwhelmed. They get so busy. They've got so much on their plates, and that's understandable. I'm not upset about that. What I was upset about was the fact that when they would tell me, well, I'm really busy, I can't talk, but yet you would see them talking to all their other friends, everybody else, and it's like, well, wait a fucking second here. You were too busy for me, but you're not too busy for them? That's the kind of shit that upset me the most. But I'm over it now. You hear my dog snoring. Oh, Barky. He'll lie there until Dad gets back home, because Dad's scent is on the pillow where he's sleeping, where Barkley's sleeping. So he'll lie there until Dad gets back home. I was actually happy to have done the Sunday video update when I had just alone time and time to myself, although I appreciate Dad and Amy's input when I run out of things to say or when I run out of things to talk about. It's nice to have extra people here. They know the routine. They're picking up on the routine on when I start the Sunday video update, when I end it, what we talk about. We discuss all these things before I even hit the record button. Because now I have to be very selective and I have to be very careful with what I put out there to the public. So, because you never know who's watching. You have people who are, they're just, grown people can't act grown. And I harp on this a lot because it is an ever-growing problem. It's one thing to act like a jerk. But when you make excuses, like the ends don't justify the means. You want to accuse people of doing things, but then you turn around and do the very thing yourself that you're accusing somebody else of doing. It's hypocritical. And, I'm not interested in people who are grown and behave like children. It's just not my ideal. But, such is life. There are grown people out there who don't act grown. They're just tall. And he's over there sawing logs. So I really don't know what I'm doing today. I don't have anything planned. Like I said, this Saturday I will most likely put together a little video. I'm going to have my traditional book gathering that I do every year for my journals when I commemorate the anniversary of when I started writing. I'll figure something out. I'll come up with an idea and I'll put together a video, and I'll see what I can do there, because I have a lot of books and I have to clean out the space in my room, and my bedroom becomes like a mausoleum for my journals, but I don't know, I'll figure something out. I'll put together a little video. I'll have my camera and I'll get some screen captures with the camera on my phone. That's how I make a lot of the videos when I'm not here sitting in this very spot. But it's something I will keep in mind, and I'll see what I can do, because I'm definitely going to write a journal entry on the 20th anniversary. So, I mean, to me, it's a big deal. I've never stuck with anything for that long. I've really been committed to writing journals, and my poetry has gotten better over the years. And although people purposely object to it because they want to see what they want to see in my poetry, not my fucking problem. But it's not my job to propitiate somebody else's negative, purposeful visions on my poetry. I write my journals as I have been for the past 20 years, and I write my poetry for people, or I write story poems, or I understand words. I've had practice. I've had years' experience as a freelance writer, and I love writing poems. And I love writing journals. It's just something I enjoy doing immensely. But I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. I'm not going to stop living and doing what I'm doing just because a handful of people over here have minds of their own that they like to put labels and twists on things. What a life. What a boring life that you have nothing better to do with your time. But, some of us are actually out there living. We're busy living. And we're not sitting around making people's lives miserable for sport because, I can get a rise out of this guy by saying all kinds of vile, disgusting shit about him. And, because I'm a loser and I have nothing better to do. That's really what I hear you say. Or every time you come up with a new name or whatever on social media, and then you want to put me on blast. Well, I've got proof, and I've got this, and I got... Just shut the fuck up. Get a life, loser. That's what I want to say to them. But it's like, just let it go. It's their ignorance. It's not my problem. It's their problem. Some people will never grow up. But I'm home alone. I have nothing to do right now. I imagine Jay and his girlfriend will be back a little later to collect their laundry because I believe they still have some wash in the washer and dryer. And they've got their big totes that they brought over for their laundry. So we'll see what happens. Oh, we got propane last week, so you're going to hear the furnace kick on here shortly. There it is. So we'll be paying that bill next month. We did have a heating draft, so that helped to reduce the cost, how much we owe to the propane company, but we still owe a considerable amount of money, which it's not a lot of money, but it's a chunk. But we'll get it taken care of like we always do. That's what we do. We survive, we get through, and we do the best we can. That's all we can do. And there were a couple of things that, a couple of announcements that I wanted to pass along. I'm glad I just remembered. A couple of warriors had passed away last week, and I wanted to use this time to send my love and warm condolences to the families of Alec and Charlie. I had followed Charlie's story, baby Charlie's story, for many years, and Alec had passed away. I followed his story for a long time as well, and I had gotten word that both warriors had passed. So that was another part of the depression. It's like, man, this is awful. So my love and my condolences go out to the families. I love you. I'm sorry for your loss. It's awful. It's just awful. It's just awful. But I wanted to make sure I got that out, and I don't know if the families ever see this, but I figured I'd say something anyway, just to show my love and condolences and my support, and my heart's with you. So, Let's see, what time is it? It's 20 after 11. I've only been here for about 25 minutes. It's going to be, depending on when you watch this, it's going to be later, but it's being recorded during the morning hours. So it's almost noon, about 40 minutes. It'll be noon. I've officially run out of things to say. I don't know what else to talk about. I should keep. I need to start keeping an itinerary of things to talk about, like a list of things I want to discuss. Like hold up a paper in front of all of you and say, "Oh yeah," and then put my glasses on and say, "Oh yeah." You know, I don't know. Maybe next week. But yeah, I might even. You might even see more of these journals next week in next week's Sunday video update. I might even have some books standing up around me or something. I'll figure something out. But it will be the weekend of the 20th anniversary of my journal writing. And to me, it's a big deal. It's something I like to do. It's just a hobby, and I can't talk about it nearly enough. It's just a part of who I am. That's what I like to do. And writing is something I've always enjoyed. I don't have any books published. I'm not a professional publisher or anything like that. I don't have anything professionally published, I should say. But I've written a lot of material over the past 20 years, and I've probably been writing poetry for I want to say about 25 years, because I started writing stuff when I was like 8 years old, and it's amazing how far I've come since 1994. Well, that doesn't really count as poetry because you were just 8 years old. Well, you know what? Maybe it does count. Maybe not as poetry per se, but it was the earliest writing that I've done. So it does count for something, because that's where it all started. Like, it was the infancy of my ideas for writing stories or writing anything. It was just the infancy period when I wanted to start writing, or when it hit me, it clicked, so. And I think I've only gotten better, and I can write a poem and share it, and most people are really, really just taken away by it. Like, oh my God, that's beautiful. Oh, okay, thank you. I aim to please, but a lot of the time too, I write poetry just for myself. I don't share it publicly, or if I write a poem for a friend, I don't share it publicly. It's just something I like to do. I'm very passionate about it. Tomorrow, I think tomorrow is Veterans Day, so mail doesn't run tomorrow. And thank you to all of our military personnel, men and women who served, and appreciate your service. So I'll make sure I get that out of the way too, because there's a lot about this country that gets taken for granted, and I see it. There's a lot of things that could change, and there's a lot of things that could be better. But I'm not a very political person. I don't talk about Republican this, Democrat that. I'm just not political. I don't watch CNN every day or at all. When they talk about these elections I just don't get involved in any of that stuff. I'm pretty much, I wipe my hands clean of all of it. I'm just done. I don't care. And a lot of my friends and family don't get involved in politics either, which is, that's their choice. There's too much. I think what it is, it's the jargon, the political jargon that's used. There's words that even I don't understand, and when I look it up and I try to figure out what all this means, it still doesn't make any sense. And it's like, like, what do I care? You know, and, well, you should care. And I get a third-degree lecture about, well, you know, you should vote and you should get involved. I don't even bother with it. And like I said, there's a lot of my friends and family who also don't get involved in politics. They're just not vocal about it like I am here. I'm not political. I've tried to understand it, and it used to be, I don't vote because my vote doesn't count, but I don't vote now for the opposite reason, because let's say it does count, and I vote for someone who's going to get into office or wherever the seat of power is, and they get in there and they fuck everything up. Well, I'm partially to blame for that, because I voted for them. If I don't vote for anybody, well, that doesn't fall back on me. You know, I'm free and clear of all that. It's a mess that I didn't contribute to, and I didn't create it, and, you know, leave me out of it. But anyway, what do you say, Barky? Should we wrap this up already? It's actually a lot more funner when Dad and Amy's here, but I'm flying solo again this week, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it does help to, you know, move it along, and to make the Sunday video update what it is. You know, they had some other business they had to take care of. Amy, she just wanted to get the hell out of here, and I don't blame her. I don't like sitting around the house either, not for long durations of time, or duration of time, I should say. When you sit home for a long time, it gets under your skin. I was at Bronner's last week. Yeah, it was last week I was at Bronner's. The world's largest Christmas store. It's located here in Saginaw County in Little Bavaria, a town that we call Frankenmuth. Is where Greta Van Fleet is from. For those of you who are fans of Greta Van Fleet, they are from my county. They are from this geographical area in the state of Michigan. I love Bronner's. I was over there, like I said, I was over there last week, and I walked around and took some pictures. I will see what I can do about putting together another video, especially for my viewers who are out of state, and, you know, maybe they want to get an updated view of Bronner's, and so I'll see what I can do about having a video put together again. I don't know if they're open. Well, they're open 361 days a year, but I'm not sure how long they're open on Sundays. I know they close early on Sundays. I'd have to check. Matter of fact, I'll check the hours right now. I can do that. Okay, so we'll go to our trusty friend that we call Google. Ooh. Okay. Bronner's. Frankenmuth hours. From 12 to 7. So they're open until 7 o'clock tonight. Oh, they're closed. Really? They're closed right now? Sunday, they're open from noon until... Oh, duh, it's not noon yet. Wake up, Jared. I'm not all the way awake yet. Yeah, they open at noon. They close at 7. So, okay. I will buzz over there and have a video put together, and I will post it or upload it, I should say, because I post it. See, I'm getting all the terminologies ass backwards. I will create a video, and I will put it together, edit, and I will upload it to YouTube. Upload is the word I'm looking for. So you will all get an updated view of what Bronner's looks like. I love the place. I just can't get enough of it. But I will go over there after I'm done here. Dad will come back home and ask, well, where's Jared at? He'll call me and, where are you at, son? I'm headed back out to Frankenmuth. Or unless Amy sees a video while I'm gone, and which I highly doubt that'll happen because it takes forever to upload videos to YouTube. It just does. I don't know why, but it does. It's awful. But I guess that's it. That's all I'm going to talk about for this week. I've run out of things to say officially. I've been here for almost 40 minutes. So I guess I'm going to get going. I'm going to edit, upload, and get the shit and get. So thank you so much for watching another installment of the Sunday Video Update. My name is Jared Fuller, or you can call me Jer Bear. Just don't call me late for dinner. And speaking of dinner, yeah, Thanksgiving is the last Thursday of this month this year, so I'll be buying things to make Thanksgiving dinner, just like I did last year. Green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, deviled eggs, buy some biscuits, buy some gravy. I did all that stuff, and it was fun making it. It was fun preparing it all. So, but I'm out of here. Much love to all of you. I will see you next week, which is November 17th. I will talk a little more about the 20th anniversary of my journal writing in next week's video. And hopefully Dad and Amy will be here. And hopefully we'll have some more things to talk about, because I just run out of things to say. It happens. But to give an update on how I'm doing, I'm hanging in there one day at a time. And, it's all I can do. Just one day at a time. So thank you for watching. I will see you guys next week. Much love. Peace. I'm out. Bye.